Hello, Samantha. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Biba. How are you?
I'm good, and thank you so much to be with me right now because you are in Australia. So what time is it right now for you?
It's 8:30 in the morning here in Melbourne, Australia.
It's kind of early. I mean, personally, I can't even start anything before 10 a.m. So thank you for being then very early in the morning. And you will be our only guest that is not living in New York right now, but you're from Australia, and you will come especially to New York for the event. And actually, that will be your first time in New York.
Absolutely. So I'm actually really looking forward to coming to New York, but also meeting the amazing other speakers that are talking on the day. And yes, I do plan to explore New York because I've never been there. So I'm hoping with my travel agent to have about a day and a half to explore New York. And all those times that I've seen things in the movies, I'm like, yep, I want to go to all these different places and check it out.
So you will have a lot. Definitely, you will have a lot. So you are the founder of Platform for Success and the Samantha Jansen Publishing. You're also an international speaker, publisher, author, and business owner. So can you just tell us a little bit more about what you do, who you are, and what you do? What's your story?
Yeah, definitely. In terms of, I guess, my business journey, I was in the corporate 9-to-5 role for quite a while, for about 9 years, before I had a very life-changing moment that happened in my personal life, and I had to sort of go, okay, what am I going to do with my life? Where to from here? And that was sort of what set me on my journey to actually step into personal development first. So it was more understanding what was going on with emotionally, mentally in my personal life. And then that led me on to going, okay, I'm going to take a leap of faith and step into business. So Platform for Success was my business that I started about 6.5, 7 years ago, right here in Melbourne, Australia. And then Samantha Jansen Publishing came as a result of that in terms of helping people publish books. And the backstory, I guess, around Samantha Jansen Publishing, Biba, is very much around when I started Platform for Success, I was doing a lot of consultancy work, a lot of speaking engagements, and inspiring individuals to step out and, embrace change, pursue their purpose. I'm very big on saying you've got to know your purpose. You've got to, push through to discover that. And then I think it was probably close to about 2.5, 3 years into having Platform for Success, someone reached out to me and said, we're doing a collaboration book. Did you want to write about how to maintain a healthy mind? So the book was actually titled Healthy Minds, and I wrote a chapter around how I've maintained a healthy mind, a few strategies that has been working for me and continues to work for me to this day. And as a result of that book coming out, it was a collaboration book, as I mentioned, that book came out, and suddenly I noticed a big growth in my own consulting business. The power of becoming an author really helped me form not just speaking engagements, but also financially, there was a big impact. And I went, oh, this is interesting. I didn't really expect that, to be quite honest and transparent with you. It was more, I wanted to share a story, and I just thought, oh, what a great platform. Don't know much about self-publishing and collaborative books, but I took that leap of faith into the unknown somewhat, and a little bit of, I guess, a bucket list item to some degree as well. And then when that happened, I went, okay, I'm going to write my story. I'm actually going to share my story. And I launched a book called No Qualifications, No Excuses. And that was my very first book around my personal journey to not having any fancy business degrees or qualifications, on how I stepped into the business world and embraced change. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to publish it under my own brand. I'm going to call it Samanthas MSS Publishing. And to be honest, that was the stepping stone to actually starting a business at the back of that. And obviously, like they said, the rest is history. Obviously, 3.5 years on, we have helped over 150 authors become published authors. We've done some amazing collaborative work. And now we're all across Australia, New Zealand. And we've got a few authors in America as well, which is very, very exciting.
Yeah. And actually, we can share with the people, that's how we met. We met about a year ago because yes. I'm part of one of your books, the one that you published at the end of last year,
yes.
The Global Women Business.
Yes, Global Women in Business. We had so many incredible women all across the world, and you were in that, and you shared your journey. So yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah, and that's how I brought the book in French also. So some people were able to read it in French. And actually, we have to share with the people also that for everybody who sign up for the events, you will get the PDF version of the book. So that's your gift from Samantha and I, because I have a chapter in the book. So that's how gift. So for everybody who sign up, you get the book as a PDF version. So I really wanted to thank you very much for that, because that's really great. And I mean, I read also the different chapters from the other women, and you know, this book is a contribution of different women. It's the same concept of what I do with the Women's Success Day, because we bring different women, different stories, different background, different way of starting a business, telling, you know, sharing the experience, the ups and downs, because, you know, starting a business is not easy, but we still can do it. So the concept of the book, the contribution book, and that the reason why I agreed to do it with you last year is because it's the same concept as what I do. So I really like that. So the book will be another way for women to learn from even more women that will be on stage.
So one of the things, I guess, that would be really, really incredible on the 6th of September when we are at Women's Success Day is the lineup of women. You know, you have put together an incredible lineup of women, which are all on purpose, you know, really driven to make that impact. But I guess one thing that I would say we all have in common is we're open to sharing those challenges and talking about how we navigated through from those challenges, because you know, regardless of where you're at in your life and you're in that room hearing from us, you're going to be able to find a point to resonate and connect with a particular speaker that, you know, guides you a little bit on going step, and this step is what I followed to get me to that next stage in life and in business. So yeah.
Well, I know how to surround myself with very successful women, so that's why also, that's my mission for years and years, because Women's Success is something that I started in 2015 as a online summit. So now I'm very proud to bring it live for the first time in New York, and first time period, and then I will have the next one in the Caribbean and the next one in France. But that's my purpose all the time, to help other women to start and grow the business, and to have other women around them as a role model, because we can start a business on our own, but we can definitely develop a business on our own. We definitely need others. We need coaches, mentors, example, role model. So I mean, that's the reason why I know when I pick speakers, I pick them for a purpose.
Oh, I love that, Biba. And you're 100% right. It really takes a lot of support and that willingness to say, I need help. You know, I always say, you got to put your hand up and say, hey, I would love to be surrounded by other supportive women that are going to, you know, help me through that journey to progress and cheer me on with the success, because it's one thing to overcome the challenge, but it's always great to have a group of women cheering you on and saying, yes, you've got it, you know, you're going to achieve great things. So it makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to talk on September 6th. You will speak about Unleash the Author Within You.
Yes.
So can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So during my presentation, Unleash the Author Within You, I'm going to be actually talking about the power of one story. So I'm going to talk to the audience about, you know, one, that feeling that you might have had around going, you know, is my story worthy? Do I actually have a story? And how is my story going to help and inspire and motivate others? So I'm going to share a little bit about my personal story, a very little part, and then I'm going to actually, you know, really encourage the audience to look at what they have learned, what their expertise is, and how that story can actually make a big impact as a part of their personal brand, but also their business brand, Biba. Because something that I have seen time and time again with working with authors, you know, not just here in Australia, but internationally, is there is that fear that goes, is my story enough to make an impact? And my answer, if you're listening to this and you're going, I don't know, I have thought about that, the answer is yes. It really comes down to how you craft the content and how you present that. And that is my job as a publisher and someone who has written multiple books to actually guide you through that. So on the day at Women's Success event, you know, in New York on the 6th of September, that's all I'm going to be talking about during my presentation, the power of your story and how you can become a published author and make an impact in your communities nationally and globally.
it's not only that you make an impact with your book, with your story, but you can build also a whole business around your book. I mean, I wrote like 4 books. Most of them are bestseller on Amazon also. But I noticed the first time, I think the first time was in 2006 when I published the first one. Actually, it was in New York. I did the first launch in New York. And I remember also it's helped you positioning because, you know, I was the same person the day I published it than the day before. But then suddenly everybody say, oh, you an author. Say, I know, I'm just me. No, you an author. So people see you differently. So the positioning is completely different. And definitely, as you said, it helps you branding also. So, and every story that people tell, you know, will bring something to somebody else. So that will be an inspiration for somebody else. So it's very important, and it must be a personal development book. It can be your story, it can be a business book. What you have to see also, it's how you use your book to grow your business.
Absolutely. And that's something that I will touch on as well, a little bit around the strategy, as you mentioned, because for authors, they can build a business at the back of, you know, becoming an author. And as you said, that is so true, because often, you know, I go about living life, doing things, and people go, but you've written so many books, you know, you have so much to say. I don't. And I'm going, it all starts with the conversation. It all starts with your willingness to step in and go, I'm open to sharing this, and I'm open to being helped around how I can craft my message and build something greater. Because as an author, there is a massive return on investment that you can get for your business and your personal brand if it's done correctly. But you know, you got to step in and step into that and take that position. So yeah.
And the most important is to start writing. I remember when I was in New York, I moved in New York in 2003, and I remember for more than a year there's a magazine in New York, because I was speaking about networking at the time. And there's a magazine over there who the guy said for 1 year, he said, I want you to write an article. And each time I said, I can't. I don't even speak English correctly. How can I write an article? I don't know. So for a year, and then after a year, he saw me at an event, and then he said, I'm still waiting for your article. I said, I can't. This is not my first language. He said, I don't care. Write it in French. Have somebody to translate it. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And I remember the first article, it took me 6 hours to write my first article. I didn't know what to say, how to say it. But the second one, it took me like 3 hours. And when I started the third one, I couldn't stop. And then pretty much that's when I made the decision to write the book, because I just couldn't stop writing. So it's true. People think that they won't have enough maybe to write 100 pages, but you start writing and it just come, and you can just stop.
Exactly. You're so right. And that's what some of my authors, currently I'm helping quite a few business owners unpack what they have been doing in terms of their business and what got them started. So they're writing a book that is somewhat a bit of a, you know, do-it-yourself a book, but also sharing their personal journey. And they, you know, when we've been going through their fortnightly coaching calls, they're going, Samantha, I can't stop. Like now I have like these brain dumps. So they call it brain dumps, because they're just like, everything's in my head, and now it's all documented. And I go, that's exactly it. It has a bit of a therapeutic effect as well when you start writing and you get into it, which is awesome. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I can't wait to hear even more of the story on September 6th in New York at the Women's Success Day. And then for everybody watching us, the woman, click on the link below in order to sign up, because as you said, you know, we are 8 speakers, and I really pick my speakers for the story, for what they have to share, and because they have the same passion as me, which is to share with other women and help other women. So I hope to see all of you watching us right now on September 6th, and then invite your friend, if they already have a business and want to go to the next step, they already have a business but they're not really sure what to do with the business, or they want to start a business, that will be the place to be on September 6th. And I can't wait to meet you in person, because now we're chit-chatting for a year with the book, so that would be great to see you in New York and to see you in the US for the first time. So
yeah, thank you so much, Biba. I'm really, really excited to be presenting as one of the speakers on the day. So yes, as Biba said, click on the link below, and we will be, myself and the other speakers will see you all on the 6th of September in New York.
Perfect. See you soon, and bye everybody, and click on the link below. Bye-bye.
Bye.